Hey Vin, hope you're doing well. I was thinking maybe to record this video to make it easier for you to understand my code and my program and how this extra assessment for get a bit better on my marks. How that works. So let me run the program here. So the snake game. So when I go there, so if you see, all right, so the game is working. So I have two players. So the way for me to distinguish these players is through their heads. So I just changed to make it simple, of course. I just changed the way that you create the balls and the head for it. So let's say for the player two, I would say that the head is green, and then for the player one, uh, the head is red with the body green, right? So the rest of the body green. Okay, so yeah, at the moment if you see that player two is just in a full loop, just because I'm not playing with him at the moment, so I want to just show you how the logic of the game works first. Wow, so here you can see, so when you get apple, I mean that's just working as standard as usual. So what I did here in my case, I actually did a little tweak on the way that you say for us to implement this program. For me, in my conception, when you talk about snake game, it's all about, like, let's say, how hard it's getting it, like to lose the game, pretty much. So I could definitely implement a score point here. I could, make it more customizable, make it look better in many different ways. But I think the main thing is to show you that I'm capable of coding and make this program that is sent to us a little bit different and implement newer functions to it. So in this case, what I did was basically, uh, so each player, so every time that he hits, let's say, his own body or the sides of the game, right? So the game, let's say, restarts itself for that player, and then that will go for three times. So you have 3 rounds. I know they say 2 rounds, but making three doesn't make much difference. So that will go for 3 rounds. So every time that he hits the his tail or the walls, it will automatically reset the game, and then that will make a count. I'm going to show the code later, how it works in the code. Go to account to score up and down. So yeah, so let me show an example. So let's say now if I hit the wall here with the player one, you see that it starts again. So it restarts, and then I make it to go back to what was it from the beginning. So let's say some kind of punishment for the player that hit the wall. And the same as, so if I hit the wall again, yeah, it happens again. So now we're counting for two, right? So if I hit it again, the game is over, and then player two will win the game. Okay. So I can also, let me see if I can catch this one. I can also make it hit to his own body. So if that happens too, uh, let's see if I can do that. No, not yet. So if that happens, see now, yeah. So the game is over, right? So then, yeah, of course, then player two won the game. So that's what I imagine for this game. Of course, I can make, as I said before, I could make that, you know, player player two won or all of that. But I think for the point of what you need for us to show you, I think is more like to show you that we are capable of tweaking this game. That's already there. All right. So if I go now, let me show you a bit. Let me actually restart the game and to show you that I can also move both players at the same time. So so that's player two, player one. Oh, so see that player two is moving too. So I'm using ASD, WASD actually for that. All right. So yeah, so both of them are moving now. Say, yeah, separately. So two players can play it simultaneously. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I can go back again. All right. So if I go back to the code, just quickly show you how what I did and more the tweaks I did. So pretty much what I did to make it two snakes, I basically um, I just double up everything. So let's say X2 here and Y2 is my player 2, right? So I literally just double up the body of the snake, and then even the dots there, let's say I double up that. So if you go down here, let's say, yeah, so if you go here to init game, so you see now I have two inits of the snake body, excuse me, right? And then so let's say the two here starts in a different point of the board as well, just to make it the difference of it. Okay, and then here if you see, that's my counter. So I have player one and player two counter, and then I have the over game. And so when the game is over, so when these counters go equals to three, over three, the game is over. And we're gonna show you that in a second. So I also create a restart method for it. So every time that the that we hit the wall or his own body, I'm calling this method. So then we restart the position of the snake, and then we go back to that initial body as well, to make it a bit more challenging for the player as well. So yeah, I create for each one of those, and then so yeah, literally just double up everything. So and then here we're talking about, yeah, so here that's how I create the second player. So instead of using the head, I'm using the ball, so then which is green, so then we can make a difference for that. We can distinguish both. Yeah, so then so here for, let me see, so check Apple. Yeah, that's just the random. So let me go for yeah. So let me go for the check collision point. Yeah. So that's where I did the most part. So before, every time that the snake was hitting the wall, the in game was set to true. I mean, sorry, to false. And yeah, and then the game will go back here, and then will be game over, right? So right there. Okay, so that's game over. So that's what I did. That was the essentially the change that I did. So I actually, instead of that, so I create a counter for player one, right? So then increase the, let's say, the mistakes that player one is making, and then I restart again. So I call that method to restart the game, the snake actually, and then here, so instead of same thing, instead of hitting walls, I'm doing exactly the same thing, and then the game is over. And then here, what I do is essentially, whenever player one goes over the over, which is three, right? So or equals to over, it will set the in-game to false, which triggers the game over method too, right? So that's right. And so in this case now, that's why before player two was in loop, because I wasn't checking that for this if statement. So let me actually go make this to go back as was it before. So now both of them are checking. So yeah, so that's essentially the logic that I implemented here. This one should be. Sorry, actually, this one is wrong one. Good that I catch that one, and then this one goes back. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so essentially is it. That's basically the change that I've done here. Yeah, and oh yeah, and also before I forget, so I actually create this key listeners, the listens for the keys that I press. So exactly the same as same logic. So instead of left, I'm using A, right? So instead of right, I'm using D, and all of that, right? Cool. That was actually fun to do it. So I'm very glad to what I accomplished here. It took me some time, but I didn't want to spend more time doing that because I also have another exams to do as well, study. And yeah, cool. Hope you consider my effort. And yeah, if you need anything else, if you have any questions about it, just let me know, please. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and see you next time, Vin. Thank you.